welcome to the official launch of phase 2 of the Chasing Boston series. Well, if you're new here, first of all, thanks for joining. I hope you can enjoy these videos and that we can learn and grow together. I am 11 months away from Grandma's Marathon, where I will be attempting to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Now, in order for me to qualify for Boston, I have to run a 3:10 marathon. My current PR is a 3:46, which I ran in Houston in January of this year. So we just wrapped up phase 1, where we mainly were focused in on recovery, weights, flexibility, nutrition, and mentally gearing up for this phase 2 build into Houston. All right, so this is the most dialed in I've ever been as a runner. So my coach has a great 4-phase process. We just wrapped up phase 1, moving to phase 2. Then we're gonna move into phase 3 following Houston, which will be about speed work, getting faster, and then preparing for Grandma's Marathon will be phase 4. We'll really ramp up mileage and really dial in that marathon pace, getting ready for a 3:10 finish. So in phase 2, one of the main focuses is going to be increasing mileage. So previously we've been in the 20s, 30s miles per week. And in this training block, we're gonna be in the 40s. And then further down the line in phases 3 and 4, we're gonna get all the way up to 55 miles per week. So in this episode, I wanna talk about how to increase mileage. What does it look like? How do we do it successfully? How do we do it without getting injured and hurt? Tuesday, we've got a 2-mile warm-up followed by 8 800s and then a 1 or 2 mile cool down depending on how we're feeling. So just wrapped up the first 800, finished that at about a 7:10 pace. So we're gonna go back out. Number two done, about a 7:10 pace again. Number 3 done, about a 7:10 pace, holding steady. Number 4, about a 6:55 pace. Pick it up a little bit here. Lap 5, about a 6:50, 6:55. Lap 6, 6:50 to 7. Going good. 2 more. Lap 7, 6:50 to 7 again. Keeping the pace. 1 more. Let's hit this one hard. Lap 8, about a 7-minute pace. Finish strong. All right, now it's time for cool downs. But as we transition into phase 2, which is gearing up for Houston, one of the big things is increasing mileage. When we get to phase 4, it gets all the way up into like 55, 60, 65 miles a week. So my question there is just as we're doing that, what are some general tips as we're increasing weekly mileage pretty significantly over the next 10 months?
I really truly believe you have to watch the athlete and how they're responding to the mileage and then make adjustments from there. So it could look different. I mean, that's what we've kind of scouted out and planned out into the future and what I think it could look like. Because I would venture to say you have more slow twitch muscle fibers than you do fast twitch muscle fibers. Slow twitch athletes can handle higher mileage. For you, it's just going to be watching how you respond. And I mean, you throw mileage out there, but really what we focus on is time on feet. Our body doesn't know miles, it knows stress. And what are you asking of me today? And we just need to be smart in how we build that. Because I mean, that's going to build your aerobic fitness. It's going to build the slower miles, longer miles, more time on your feet, your mitochondria, your capillaries, like your heart, everything's going to benefit from that. And um, it's going to be crucial for us to just watch how you respond to the increased time on feet. I mean, training is a big experiment. Like, what can the athlete handle? Where do we need to back off? But as we go from like 25, 30 miles a week to 45, 50 miles a week, it's just adding bits and pieces here throughout the week. It's not like we're going to add, and I mean, in some cases, like if you're running 5 days a week, we may add day six, and that's going to add 5 to 6 miles. And there, you're third of the way, fourth of the way there just by adding an extra day of running. But then also leaving it up to you. Like if there's a day that you feel really good and you have time, and you may have 60 minutes, but 80 minutes is you feel like it's a good day to do that, giving you the autonomy to make that decision and trusting you that you're being wise in that. You're not just going just because you want that number. You're doing it because this is a good day for me. The weather's good. I feel good. I'm hydrated. I'm well rested. And that because there may come a day few days later that didn't get a good sleep, got bad news at, work or a friend or whatever, and your body again doesn't know miles, it just knows stress. And that stress comes in all different forms. It comes in work, it comes in family, it comes in, just a bad night's sleep. It comes with poor nutrition, not enough hydration. And for you to know like when you can add and when you can pull back and having some of that leeway to make those decisions.
As we're increasing, why is increasing overall weekly mileage so important to the success on the marathon?
I mean, I think one thing is mental confidence. The other thing is your body's ability to handle that increased amount of time on feet. Just get you better prepared mentally and physically. I mean, physiologically, the adaptations of endurance and just knowing that you can go the distance. I think that's the that's the biggest thing. Is just, but again, not everybody, and some people thrive on 40 miles a week. I mean, a great example is one of our athletes. He's one of the fastest guys that we have in Wahoo. He runs 40 to 45 miles and runs a 250 marathon. But he can kind of get focused on the mileage because he looks around and seeing everybody that's running that pace is running 70 miles plus a week. And then he starts to try to go after that, but then he starts seeing diminishing returns. So, I mean, we may get you up to 45 and we tick up to 50 and you start feeling like crap. We may back down to 45 and then just start working on some of the quality sessions, like getting you more time at marathon pace, getting you more time at threshold, and working on the speed side and the quality side versus the quantity side. So it's just how your body reacts. There's no magic in 60 miles a week. There's no magic in 75 miles a week. There's no magic in 100 miles a week. But the magic comes when trying to figure out where is it optimal for me to go, and then therefore perform well on race day. Don't chase the mileage, chase the adaptation. Like we just want to make sure that you're adapting well, you're handling mileage well, and you can still hit your quality sessions, and everything is, the old keep your easy day easy, hard day hard, not blending and finding yourself in that mushy middle or that gray area where no growth happens. I mean, if you think about it, when we're really low and when we're really high, we learn a lot about ourselves. But when we're here and just kind of maintaining that, there's not a lot that we learn about ourselves. And so we're kind of operating not necessarily at the extremes, but on the outskirts of that gray area and kind of pushing ourselves, and then also pushing ourselves by holding back and not running, every run at 8.5 minute miles or 9 minute miles, that we do have some 9:30s or just really truly easy runs. So I think the biggest thing is don't get mileage obsessed, get adaptation obsessed, and know how do I feel like I'm responding to this? Is this are runs that I once thought hard getting easier?
Mhm.
Or runs distances that I once thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've gone this far. I mean, how many times do you say, I'm only running 10 today? Or it's only just 6 miles. I mean, if people tapped into that conversation, they think we're crazy. I mean, people that don't run. So, what was once like this high achievement is now commonplace. And that's sort of the that's sort of where you want to get, is where you get adapted to the fact that, going out and running 3 hours doesn't feel like much to you anymore.
With that, as we're increasing miles,
Mhm.
what are some signs that we might be adding too quickly?
I mean, I think extreme fatigue is one of the things. Having some aches and pains, that maybe creep in that you've never felt before, it's usually a good sign that maybe I need to back off a little bit. I mean, I say it all the time, it's like a seesaw. And if you've got stress and you've got rest, and if these get out of balance, like if you rest too much, you're not going to be trained up, and it's going to be a horrible experience if you're training for a race. But then if you're here and you're stressed too much and not resting enough or recovering enough, then you're going to be more prone to sickness. You're going to be more prone to just fatigue and just overall sense of well-being that is not great. Or you're going to be injured. Some sort of pain is going to sideline you, or injury that is going to sideline you. So your sleep. I mean, there's no form of recovery that's better than sleep. You can buy the recovery boots, you can buy ice baths, you can buy supplements, there's nothing that is going to take care of your body better than a good night's sleep. That becomes part of your training. And pain is a conversation. It's the start of a conversation, and if you're going to ignore it, that pain's going to get louder and probably sideline you. And another thing that I say a lot is it's better to be sidelined for a few days than a few weeks or months. Take care of things that come up if you
Mhm.
just listen and give it the attention right away versus, mind over matter, or I've got to get this done. These, becoming, I guess, mileage obsessed or training obsessed, because it really is the start of a conversation, any type of pain or fatigue. or illness. Anybody that I know that's a runner that's getting sick quite often, I'm like, that's a sign of overtraining. It is. Your immune system cannot fight whatever you're coming in contact with. I keep on telling you, well, you don't come home from that town. I keep on telling you, well, you don't come home from that town. I keep on telling you, well, you don't come home from that town. I keep on telling you, well, you don't come home from that town. I keep on
All right, just got done pacing 10 miles, a group that's going to New York. And now we're gonna join this 10K to celebrate Plant's 6 years in business. So we're gonna run another 6 miles. Here we go. Number one coach tomorrow. Wrapped up 16 miles, which is by far my longest run since running the Houston Marathon in January. So that's about 7.5 months. Felt great. Overall pace was a 9:01, but did some marathon pace miles. But overall easy miles, great workout. Talk to me about that time on feet concept. How does that interact? How's that play? And like, what should we be thinking about, right? Because like I sit at my desk a lot all day long, but like other people stand and work all day. They're standing up, walking around all day long. So like, what should we be thinking about? How does that play into all this?
People that work all day, I mean, that it's not necessarily training, but that time on feet counts. Like if you're in the medical profession and you're cruising around the hospital all day, or if you're a hairstylist and you're standing on your feet all day, I mean, that counts. That's not to say that that takes place of a workout, but it can't be negated. I mean, I have an athlete that works in the medical field. She's all over Tampa General. I mean, just moving all over that place. Probably walks 5 miles a day in the hospital. I'm not giving her training on that. I mean, she works like 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She doesn't touch a weight. She doesn't touch um the road or her bike, anything. She has 3 days that her work is her job. I mean, that is her fitness. Because it truly is. I mean, she's in motion, she's lifting, she's doing things that I mean, if I were to give her runs on top of that, she would for sure break down. So then we have to get creative on how do we get the rest of the training in and give you rest as well. So I mean, like Friday is a rest day. It's kind of a recovery day. Like she can get on her bike and go for a ride. She can go for a swim, active recovery, but then I mean, really, she's training for a marathon on Saturday, Sunday, Monday running, and then 3 of those days are her work. And I, I mean, I firmly believe that she will be ready for the marathon, but it's just very unconventional. So you have to take into consideration because it's stress. It's stress on your body, whether it's yeah, it's just your legs. I mean, yeah, it is. It's just, it's taking its toll on your body. And so you have to make sure you give that the nod it deserves. But for me, I'm on the computer a lot as well. I'm sitting down a lot. Um, then, you know, I don't get the time on feet during the day. So I do need my time on feet on the road or, um, if I'm feeling any kind of ache or pain, then, hitting the bike and getting it in a more, getting that aerobic adaptation in a gentler way, whether it's elliptical, biking, water running, whatever it is. Because again, it's more about the time, and it's not necessarily time on feet then if you're doing cross training, but just I mean, sitting around all day is not good for any of us. Getting up, moving around, I mean, I'm sure you do that. Just stretch, just kind of walk around or go outside, get some sunshine, and come back in and work. Taking those incremental little breaks or intermittent breaks is pretty important. Somebody had said Ryan got suckered into running 16 with us, and like there are other people that I would have said, "Hold on, time out, no way, that's not part of the plan, don't do it." But I knew you could handle it, so there's no reason to say anything.